Hi everyone, today we're going to be using this ultra soft throw that I bought from Home Bargains for £4.99, and I'm going to show you how we're going to turn this into a really cute pet bed. First thing to do is open up the blanket. This is really super soft. So that's the blanket, and that's still folded in half, so we have got two parts to it. So it's a fairly good size, and it's going to make us a really decent size pet bed. So I'm just going to move it up, and I'm going to take this side and I'm going to fold that as near as possible back into the middle, and I'm going to do the same with the other side. Just need to try and make it quite even. As we can see now, we've got the blanket and it's folded up into doubles and it's meeting in the middle. That's going to help me when I'm cutting it out. The pet bed I'm going to make has a diameter of 26 inches. I made this just using A4 sheets of paper, just as a bit of a template, but you don't actually need to do that, because an easy way to do it is to take the edge of your material and simply measure 13 inches. Start at a point and just measure round and just keep marking it at intervals all the way around, and then join up your markings and make a semicircle. I found it easier to make the template that I'm just going to cut around. Another way of doing it, if you wish to save time, is once you've folded your material in half, is to fold it in half again, and then you can fold your template in half, and then you're just going to cut out the smaller shape. If you make the pattern, you can pin that on and then cut round it, or you can just cut round it, just cut straight round it without drawing or pinning it, or you can mark around it and cut along the line, whichever's best for you. I'm just going to draw around the edge of my pattern with chalk, and then I'm just going to cut through the chalk line. Just going to draw or mark all the way around the edge. Then now we can just cut along the chalk line all the way through the material, and we're cutting through both sides. If you have fabric pens or fabric pencils that you'll be able to see on the black material, you can use those as well. But I do quite like using the chalk because it doesn't mark the material and it just rubs out. There we have our cut out semicircle, and obviously when we open it up now, we have quite a decent sized circle, and we're just going to repeat that now with the other side of the material. Now we've got the two circles, we're going to put them together, and we're going to put the best side together. We're going to pin around the edge, leaving a small gap. Want to leave a small gap so we're able to turn it inside out once we've done that. So I've got some little glass head pins, and I'm just going to use those to pin the two pieces of material together. We're just going to go all the way around the edge. Once it's all pinned, it should look something like that, and then we've got the two good size sides of the material together, and we've got our gap that we're going to use to turn it inside out. Now it's time to sew it. We're just going to sew all the way around the edge where we've pinned it to sew the two pieces of material together. Now we have our sewn up blanket. We've got our two pieces of material sewn together, and we've got a gap. So the first thing we need to do is we just need to turn it now the right way round, pop it all the way through. To make the cat bed a little more interesting, I'm going to now sew another circle in the middle. I've also made a pattern for a smaller circle which has a diameter of 15 inches. I'm going to find the centre part of my outer blanket, and then using chalk I'm just going to draw around my pattern into the centre, and we're going to sew that one. Now we can see our chalk circle. We're just going to sew around that, and again we're going to leave a gap. We're going to leave a gap that's in line with the gap that we've already got for the outer circle. So I'm just going to mark a couple of lines here so I know that I'm going to leave a gap, because that's going to allow us then to stuff the inner circle separate to the outer circle. Now we've got our circle sewn in the middle, we're going to take our pillow and we're going to stuff it, and that will just stuff the inner circle to start with. And we're just going to fill that up with stuffing, and then we're going to sew up the gap. You can buy stuffing and wadding from places like Amazon and Hobbycraft. However, I find that using a pillow is cheaper, because you can get a 2-pack of pillows for about £3, and I think that gives you a lot more wadding. And if you use a microfiber filling, it is literally the same stuff. So that's my top tip for saving money. And we're just going to take this now, and we're just going to fill in the centre circle. You need to try and push it all the way to the edges. Just want it so it's nice and puffy to give some nice padding for your pet. Then when you've filled it as much as you want to, where we've sewn round the circle, we're now just going to fill in the gap, and that's going to seal all that and keep that all inside. And now we've secured in the padding into the inner circle. And now we're going to stuff the outer circle with the pillow filling, and we're going to make that nice and puffy. And then we're going to seal up this gap as well. Once you're happy with your stuffed outer ring, all that's left to do now is to just seal up this end. You can sew it by hand. However, I'm just going to fold in the edges and I'm just going to machine stitch it just to give it a bit more security so that it doesn't come apart. There you have your completed pet bed using a £4.99 Home Bargains blanket and a pillow. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I will look forward to seeing you in my next one. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.